Welcome to more coasters. I liked doing the last one so much, I decided to do some more. For safety equipment, I have Nitrile safety gloves and a macerator for fumes. The colors we'll be picking today, let's see, which ones? Mango, no. Let's go with these. Okay. I don't even know what colors I'm grabbing. Okay, so we have ruby, lavender, blueberry, and lime. Actually, you know what? Let's do this clover instead of lime. Okay, we're going to be pouring 200 milliliters of B-side to start with. And likewise 200 milliliters of the A side. Make sure to have all safety equipment on during this process. Okay, we're going to add the B side into the A side and then begin mixing with a hand mixer. If you are not using a hand mixer and doing this by hand, you will want to go as slow and as controlled as possible in order to reduce the amount of air bubbles generated. Personally, I am using an electric hand mixer, and honestly, it works incredibly well. It mixes in less than half the time. Using a popsicle stick, I am cleaning out as much of the resin as possible, because you want to get as much as you can into the A side. There is going to be some leftover in the cup, so try to mix it accordingly, or try to pour the sides accordingly. The most important part about mixing is knowing when you're finished. As you can see, the mixture is starting to become stringy and cloudy as it begins to mix together. Once the mixture is fully incorporated, it will go back to being clear. At that point, you'll be ready to add in any sort of color, glitter, anything really that you want to add to the resin itself can be done at that point. A point in which we are coming up to right now. Okay, everything's been mixed together, and it's time to pour the molds. It's a bit hard to see, but it's working pretty nicely. This will get the table ready for the coloring. We're going to be dropping the dye in, or the alcohol ink, and this just put them around, try to mimic on each one, and just see what I come up with. At this point, I have no plans or ideas. I'm just dropping it in wherever. I did add white to the mixture, or to the color, just because it's off to the side and I needed something lighter. Using an air canister, or container, or what are those things called? Pressurized air. I mix around the mixture even further. Now we're adding in some pigment to the extra resin, as well as some flakes. Some of the glitter flakes that I had from my previous dice. And we're going to pour that into a holder mold for the coasters. I forgot what they were called. We are pouring from a high elevation to try and get rid of as many bubbles as possible. I'm always experimenting with my videos, so this time I'm just trying the voiceover in one take, watching everything in real time, as opposed to doing it in clips, like I normally do. So if this seems a bit weird, or my voiceover is different than normal, that would be why. Okay, I still have more resin, so I'm just going to fill up these little dog treat molds I had lying around. I have to admit, so far I am liking how everything is looking. But for all I know, it could all go wrong. And it could all just turn out bad. But only time will tell. Now the stuff with the black flakes are going to take an extra 24 hours to fully cure. I found that out from my dice when I used the same material in the resin. So I will be leaving it in the mold for a little bit longer. However, the actual coasters themselves will be coming out of the molds tomorrow, and I'll be making a backing for them then. So there's not really much more to do here, so I'll see you in 24 hours, and we can have a look at what they are, and what they appear to be like. It's been 24 hours, so let's see how they turned out. A little bit bendable still, but I expected that because of the glitter. And what? Okay, the glitter is a pretty nice effect. Like I said, still a bit malleable, but it'll take an extra day and it'll firm right up. And the dog treats look good. Now let's check out the little Barbie box I made. I'm calling it the Barbie box, by the way, because I didn't expect it to turn out this pink. But I will say, this glitter paint is incredibly good. It's incredible. It sort of gives like a holographic effect that I really like. Can't wait to see what else I can use it with, and how it works with other colors. But it's time to check out the main attraction, the coasters. The flowers have collapsed in on themselves, which is to be expected. But, well, let's see how it turned out. You can't really see much through the other side. So let's take it out of the mold and then flip it. Let's do it Pokemon card style. And the reveal is it a rare? Is it a VMAX? Nope, it's a job. Well, it looks a bit better on camera. In person, it really does not look good. I think the ruby sort of went brown when it mixed in with the other colors. Like you can sort of see it there, and just muddying everything up. Sadly, these were a failure, but I don't think I'm done. Now let's do it again. Let's run it back. Let's try one more time. I actually have another glitter paint, and I want to try something with this. The glitter paint is here, it's opalescent I believe. But I'm actually going to paint this into the molds before I do any pouring. I want to see if that adds a layer on the bottom surface, or the top surface, purely or that is its own glittery surface. I don't know, experiment, we'll see what happens. For all I know, it may not even get picked up by the resin, and I'll have to wash these off after. Or it'll all bleed right through, and it'll be a pretty cool effect. But, since I've done another batch, let's just quickly go through this phase. I'm making 300 milliliters total, so same as before. 150, 150, combine the two and mix. Alright, let's start pouring. Oh, actually, first I wanted to drop a bit of alcohol ink in the center of the molds and blow it around with my air canister. Just to see if this gives any cool effect or not. Never know if I don't try. Okay, let's pour them in, and I should have made more resin. 400 would have been enough, because some of them aren't exactly full, and one of them barely has any. I'm just hoping that that one in the top corner that I'm doing right now will be just emptied out and fully taken care of when it's done, so I can just peel it and throw it out, and I have a nice clean mold. But this time I decided to go with less colors. Right there, I sprayed it with isopropyl, and it gave a really cool clouding effect. But I stick with only a few alcohol inks instead of many like last time. using a serrated edge. I'm just mixing them together, see if that does anything. I really don't know what's going to work and what's not, and I'm just hoping that this turns out decent. A little bit of blue in the center, and let's manipulate it a bit more. Turn them into little clovers and flowers. This one I'm going to just swirl and see what that does. And same with the other one on top. This one I'm going to try multiple petals and see if I can get a cool effect with that. And this one I'm just going to split in half and make it a clover like everything else. Let's add in the yellow center, which does turn green. Who would have thought? Mixing colors makes colors. And that made no sense, but once again, let's wait for 24 hours and see how these turn out. It's been 24 hours and they are not looking good. I can see that the glitter has gone through, and that worked, but it would be better just to mix the glitter into the resin itself, because wherever that resin and glitter mixed, it just did not cure proper. Most likely it'll take an extra day and those will firm up, but it's not that great. All of the designs that I tried to do have collapsed. You can sort of see them, but most of them have collapsed in on themselves, which it was to be expected. I was just hoping that they would have collapsed into more interesting patterns. That last one didn't have enough resin, so there's still some glitter in the mold. I'm going to clean that out. Well, that was an experiment to say the least. The next time I make some coasters, I'll try some colored resin with glitter. See how those look. Speaking of glitter, there's the other coasters I made in this episode, in this video. And yes, they're solid now. But there's also the Barbie box and the dog bone. And they can no longer flex. So giving it an extra day has allowed it to fully solidify. And the Barbie box is the exact same. Doesn't cave, doesn't buckle under pressure. It's nice, solid, and rigid. Well, oddly enough, these are my best creations in this video. And I'll experiment more with this style of pouring. This style of mixing the resin with the glitter. Well, thanks for watching, and bye.